It's a really good whānau film. A lot of my family watch it over and over again because it resonates with them, with their upbringing. So that's like my dad's generation and stuff. So yeah, it's a pretty cool film.
It wasn't really a stereotype of Māori. You know, that film was as part of our normal day-to-day lives. I mean, they portrayed back in the 80s, but for us it still exists now in 2010. A lot of the kaupapas that Taika illustrated in there, you know, around sort of absent fathers, alcoholism, gangs, drugs, the tuakana taina as well, where the younger siblings are being looked after by the older siblings, the nannies going away on tangihanas for weeks on end. You know, my mother and I both discussed those. Those happened in her time way back in the 60s, 70s. They happened in mine in the 80s and 90s. So it's not something that's frowned upon. You know, it's just a normal part of life. The older sibling, being 10, 11, knew the roles and responsibilities of the house, knew what needed to be done, and knew how to keep our tamariki safe.
In terms of boy, my dad said that was him when he was that age. He used to stay home and look after all the kids. There was 12 of them. When his mum and dad used to go to tangihanga, and a lot of people seem to think that boy shows this idea of impoverished living. You know, they don't have parents, they don't have this, they don't have that. But really, what they should understand is that it encourages this concept of whanaungatanga, right? So they didn't need TVs, they didn't need flash microwaves, they had themselves. And that's the beauty of boy, that most people tend to forget. You know, they only look at the parts where there's no parents, there's drugs, there's alcohol. But underneath that, there's whānau, there's the dad, there's the aunties. They can go down the shop, they know they're going to be safe. And that's the beauty of boy, and that's what's so heartfelt for my family and for me, is because that's our family, you know, just played on a big screen.
You know, you learn to make do with what you have.
And you know, white bait down the river.
Yeah, all the white bait. You know, there are instances there where my brother went down and he used to go out white baiting for Ron because there was just literally no kai, nothing. You know, so you make do with what you have, and you dream. You know, they dreamed a lot on that movie around, you know, when I go to the city and and we're going to go to McDonald's and have a big feed and stuff like that. Of course you dream. You know, it's like being on a desert island. You know, and all you're thinking about is having the most luxurious meals that you could ever think about. And as a kid, you think straight away about what you see on TV. And what you see on TV is what you have here in the city. So for us as coastie kids, there is a stereotype also about townie kids. You know, they're townie kids or city kids or urban Māori, that they have all the flash gears, that they have all the best kai, you know, they're not as Māori as us, you know, there's all these stereotypes about townie kids as well. So, you know, it's a sort of a catch-22. Coastie kids trying to be like townie kids and townie kids trying to be like coastie kids. But at the end of the day, you know, he Māori tātou.
We have this concept of post-colonialism where Māori were largely suppressed in their tikanga and their language. We can see that through the Tohunga Suppression Act, where our people had to go underground to do their natural abilities. And in boy, those concepts of our tikanga, of our Māoritanga, are being relived, they're being revived. I suppose not so much in the drugs and in the alcohol, but once again when we look at how things operate as a tight-knit whānau, that's where it all is contained.
When I moved to the coast, just down the road from where Kylie was, yep, that's definitely how it is. The parents leave you at home. You're the one to look after. I had my brother gave his kids to my mum, so we were looking after them and, you know, get home, go into the garden, eat peas after school, you know, just fend for yourself, go and get a bucket of water down the hill because there was no running water, no electricity.
What we seem to forget about cliches is that it becomes a cliche is because it's so common, right? It's the daily lifestyle of people, and it's the most identifiable, I guess, especially down the coast. You don't even have to go to the coast. I mean, this film is hit big because it resonates with a lot of Māori everywhere.